Hello guys, have you ever gone up against a sweat and don't know what to do? Well, this video is perfect for you. So today we're going to be teaching you some simple builds to improve your gameplay. First, we're going to be teaching you some floor wall ramping. So this is very efficient because when the opponent is shooting at you or when they're below you, they have to shoot maybe 2 or even 3 builds to break you down. That time, you're already above them, and you can drop down on them, and you have the advantage. So, get started with the floor ramps. You need to set your keybinds, your floor, your wall, and your ramp button. In my case, I have my F, my 2 side buttons. So, you want to hold down your left click, and also make sure you turn on turbo build. You switch between the 3. In my case, I just do floor, wall, and ramp. So I just continuously go like that. We have another example from Jet. A cool, cause he's so cool. You know?
Wow, thanks. Okay, in my version where I see most keyboard and mouse players use, they put the ramp first, and then they do the wall and the floor at the same time. So in this one, you just walk forward, you put the ramp, and then the wall on the floor, right? You have to look down to put the wall on the floor, otherwise the floor and the wall might place above you, which is what you don't want. You don't want it like blocking you. And so you just keep going, you look down, you look back up for the ramp, and then you look down for the wall on the floor. And basically you just repeat this until you get it. And good luck. If you're having difficulties in the start, I would recommend starting with just ramp wall until you have that down. And then once you have that down, you can add the floor in and you'll be chilling.
Good job, Jet.
So the next thing is double editing up, and it's usually used for when you're on the low ground and your opponent's up and you don't want to get shot while going up. So basically you started off with just a ramp, then putting down a cone in the floor with while holding down your left mouse click button again, and then you either double edit one square for both of them and then you continue up, or you can do 2 squares. It's all based on preference. And let me go back down. So you practice that, and after you work on it a bit, it looks somewhat like this. And if someone's up, they can try to shoot you, but it won't be as it'll be still pretty protected.
If double editing is a bit too hard for you, whether it's because you're just starting out or because you're on controller, I would recommend just starting with a ramp cone. So basically, put a ramp, a cone, edit, ramp cone, edit, and continue. Now, once you have that down, you can start with something a little bit harder. So, ramp, ramp, cone, floor, double edit, ramp, ramp, cone, floor, double edit. So basically you're just doing a double edit every 2 ramps, like so. Now, once you have that down, double editing every ramp shouldn't be much of a problem anymore. Next up are 90s. And 90s are so effective because although they aren't the most protective way to get high ground, it's certainly the fastest way. So you start it off with a ramp, then a wall down here, a wall up here, a wall to the side, a wall down here, then you jump up and put a floor and a stair at the same time. And then you can repeat that, a wall here, a wall here, wall here, jump up, floor ramp. you basically continue this until you get it. If you're having difficulty at first, I would recommend just doing the walls and the ramps. These two walls, just the walls and the ramps. And once you get good at that, then you can add in the floor. It's another variation of 90s, and it's a little bit faster. So the difference here is that this time, after putting the ramp, you don't place this wall right up here, this wall right here. Instead, you just put this wall, this wall, this wall, and then you jump up and floor ramp just like the other 90s. And so you might be thinking, why is this so much faster? And the reason is because you don't bump into this wall over here, the 1 meter in place. And so because of that, it boosts your speed a little bit. And so another thing you need to remember when doing these 90s is that because this wall is not here, you would have to make sure you don't fall off while you're doing it. So if you run up just regularly doing these 90s, you'll end up falling, right? So what you need to do is you need to put these walls, and while you're going up on this ramp, right, you need to run diagonally to the right a bit so that you don't fall off. Kind of like this. Once you practice, it should look something like this.
Okay, so right here we're going to be demonstrating how the second 90s are faster than the first 90s, just because you won't bump into that wall. So let's start. As you might have seen, I was on top just by a little bit, and that's the difference that those 90s make.
So the last tip I have for you today is waterfalling. Waterfalling is extremely important, especially when you're on height, so you can get down without taking fall damage. This is very effective in build fights or zone wars. So what you want to do is you only need two, really. You only need your walls and your ramps. So you fall off, like you slowly fall off your builds. You need to put two walls and a floor. The reason why you only put two walls and a floor or a ramp, because you put three walls down, you take fall damage, which is not what we want.
Like,
But when you
guys try
hear
to
your
shoot some
opponent
build.
trying to shoot you down, you want to get down without taking fall damage. So you want to put two walls on the side of a floor and put a ramp underneath. After, if you're still high above the floor, you want to drop down again and two more walls and a ramp. You keep doing that until you're basically at the ground, and then you can just drop down. What I like to do is put two walls, a ramp, and then make this ramp a half ramp. It's more effective because it saves you some time when you're getting down. Until you reach the ground.